My name is João Correia and I welcome you to Steelworks Media. After a few bumps along the road, 2024 is the right moment to turn a few pages and revive Steelworks Media as just one of them. Be it as it may, I couldn't wish for a better restart of the channel than with a candid chat with Ion Fire's Matt Pike and Jeff Matz about the release of their sophomore album, Cometh The Storm. The album has been on repeat mode at the office, as I do consider it not only an instant classic, as one of the top 3 Ion Fire's records ever. Have a seat, grab a cold one, horns up, and stay heavy.
Cometh The Storm, for me, is probably Ion Fire's most furious slash raging album in a career now spanning a quarter of a century, actually. I mean, you have rawer, heavier and faster albums, but I'm talking about fury. I'm talking about something primeval, but quite focused too. Where did you tap all that concentrated anger from?
Well, I don't think it's just anger, but I don't know, 30 years of scolding the world about things that I thought were going to happen, that happened. You're just sick of saying it, but then you just say it even louder. I don't know, some weird conundrum like that, you know. I think I just was trying to put a lot more into my vocal performances, you know, and the riffs, with Ion Fire, they'll always speak for themselves. I mean, that's what the band's based on, the mashed potatoes, you know, and meat and potatoes riffs and stuff. So, and then, and then you go into Cody. Cody Willis is a very, he's a very hungry drum player. And I think the whole thing it just came together right. We're just reinventing ourselves and rebuilding the machine we call Ion Fire, you know, after COVID, and you know, and we separated from Dez, and you know, he was a hard one to like learn how to play with another, you know, drummer, and you know, for Jeff to combine the rhythm section with and things of that nature. And it wasn't hard, it just naturally it's just evolved to be more furious, I guess.
You chose the Burning Down video to introduce Cometh The Storm to the world. This sends me a little bit back to the fury and rage of the previous question. I mean, the video is easily one of the sickest, one of the most disgusting rock clips I've ever watched, you know?
That's why I liked it in the beginning. I was like, it's just gross.
It's gross, you know? You have Lovecraftian parts, which is classic Ion Fire, to be honest. But then again, the whole thing seems it was made more to, I don't know, to scare people away than to lure them. Why Burning Down, and why such an obnoxious video?
Oh, I mean, I think the song Burning Down was just like, you know, we were all really behind that song, and just like, I think it's like just a great song for Ion Fire. You know, it's just like so different than the last, you know, single or whatever you want to call Electric Messiah was, you know. That was like just super blazing, you know, Motorhead Venom worship, Slayer tempo stuff, you know, whereas I personally, I thought it was really cool to like come out with something that was just really slow and groovy, and that just kind of like echoed back to the band's, you know, early albums and that type of sound, and just bludgeoning. I just think it's a really well composed song, and you know, we thought that our fans would enjoy that. And, you know, in regards to the video, you know, the video's creator, Lars Christopher Hormander, he's somebody that we sort of just came across on the internet, like on, you know, just we ran it, you know, came across his like little animated horror vignettes that he was posting on Instagram, and you know, like I sent his work to Matt and Cody. I was like, guys, check this guy's stuff out. It's really wild. Like this guy's doing some crazy stuff, and you know, you know, we're doing a couple of music videos for this album, and So for the first video, we chose to go with Lars, and we pretty much, like, he came up with a treatment for the video and sent it to us, and we were all like, yeah, that's a cool concept, and he brought it to life. And yeah, it's definitely gross, it's disturbing, and it's it's definitely gotten some people talking.
On another note, I noticed that also, well, actually, that this new album, Cometh The Storm, you're much more technical and mature in terms of a band. Not just, individually, but as a band, as a three-piece. From that Godly, for instance, that Godly Middle Eastern solo on Opener Lamb's Bread, which is staggering, to the overall polished song structure. I mean, you had 6 years to make this album. Do you think you capitalized on having plenty of time to release it?
Yeah, I mean, well, there was the COVID thing and recovering from that. Us losing our drummer, basically retiring from the band, and us having to move forward. I mean, that's time consuming. Just even finding the right person to, like, make the right rhythm section. Yeah, and COVID didn't make things easy. I mean, the world was shut down. Who saw that coming? Aside of maybe, I was talking about it. I didn't think it happened that quick. But
yeah, definitely. I mean, that also, as far as capitalizing on that time gap, I feel like there was a lot that went into crafting this album and putting it together, and again, we had a lot of setbacks. There were a lot of hurdles to overcome in order to get this thing to the finish line. But that said, yeah, having that amount of time to sort of like craft riffs and our musical ideas and put things together and kind of create some basic frameworks. Yeah, it was to our advantage, and sometimes things just take as long as they take, it's like, we would have all loved to have an album out sooner than this, but this is how long it took. And, I think the result speaks for itself. I think it's a strong piece of work.
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah. So again about the Middle Eastern music influence. This one's for you, Jeff. First, you cover an instrumental version of the classic Karen Likyol, and then I read this is a quote unquote sentence from a kid on a Turkish forum talking about your new album. And he goes like, look, I've been playing the balama in my family since I was very little. And still I believe that Jeff Matz plays it better than I do. I wouldn't be surprised if Jeff Matz was Turkish, end quote. So what are the Oriental elements all about? And are you Turkish, Jeff?
I have no Turkish in my blood whatsoever, but I think my soul is a little bit Turkish, because for some reason the folk music from Anatolia just like sets my heart on fire. It's just like, when I hear it, I'm just like electrified. So that's a really nice compliment that guy left. That's super cool. Actually, just to clarify, Karen Likyol, there are other songs called Karen Likyol. But this is not a cover. This is an original composition. As far as my interest in that, started getting into, Middle Eastern folk music around 2006 when I joined High on Fire. Buddy of ours turned me on to like a bunch of like Turkish and Persian and, Sufi music. In 2019, I decided I really wanted to take it to the next level with the folk music, and specifically the Turkish stuff. I'd been playing the balama a bit, but I didn't really have an understanding of how it's played in a traditional context. So I got in touch with a balama teacher in Istanbul, started taking online lessons. I've always thought that those types of sounds and that type of music integrates really well with like heavy metal, and especially the kind of music that we do. And I've always heard of those types of sounds and melodies in like the riffs that Matt writes too. So like I feel like that's sort of been there, you know, even if unintentional from the get-go, you know.
Okay. And straight up, do you think that your sound would sound the same if not for Kurt Ballou commanding the spaceship? If not Kurt, who would you probably consider to produce a Eye on Fire record, since you've been working with Kurt so much for, I don't know, the past 10 years maybe?
You know, I don't know. That's a hard one because I wouldn't want to have to pick and choose, but you know, there's always Steve Albini, there's always Jack and Dino, there's always people we've worked with, there's always Billy Anderson, there's always people I've worked with my whole life, but Kurt just seems to have a thing for High on Fire. He knows what it should be doing, you know? And yeah, given a preference, I'd choose Kurt every time.
This one's now for Matt. Any live news about Sleep? What can the fans expect since the band is once again playing live?
Well, we haven't played live in a while, and we took a little hiatus. And right now, we're just playing D&D online.
Really?
And there's some surprises coming up, but I can't elaborate or share on like how that's going to turn out. So, you know, we're talking and working on stuff again, and but it's not come to fruition. It's nothing that is announceable. It's just
no plans.
And you know us, we'll drop a record in the middle of the night and no one will know it's coming. So it's I don't really give away those secrets because that band's so odd. I don't know what's going to happen myself.
Sure. Okay.
But no I'm on good ground with those dudes, and we're talking about some cool shit. I'll leave it at that.
Okay. This is the last one. Eye on Fire are one of the largest sensations this summer in Portugal, as you're one of the bigger names announced for the SonicBlast Fest. It's been like, I don't know, 10 years since you last played in Portugal, so I'm sure it will be a big celebration. What are your expectations about the gig, and are you spending a few days here relaxing, or are you coming just to play and leave for the next show?
I'm not sure yet. I was thinking about buying my girl a ticket and just hanging out there for a few days, or doing something, you know, from there, near there. I'm not sure yet, but yeah, I'm not going to waste the trip over there on just playing a show. I'll probably hang out for a few days and have my loved one come and hang out with me for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. That's I'm definitely planning on hanging out for a few days or you know, a good amount of time in Portugal around the show. Yeah, it's been too long. You know, 10 years is too long. We love Portugal. We had nothing but great experiences playing there. I played last year in Portugal with Mutoid Man as well, at Amplifest, and that was my first time getting to explore Porto, and that was, man, what a beautiful city. Just such an awesome experience. I got to stay for a few days after the festival, and it was really, really great. But yeah, we're super excited to be playing SonicBlast, and God, it's a killer lineup. There's so many good bands playing. Yeah, but yeah, definitely gonna try to make the most of it and get some good time in Portugal. I think my wife's gonna come over and we're gonna make a holiday out of it.